we're now in chapter 6, Simplified Techniques for Diagnosis of Soil Biological Quality. This is the last chapter for the Simplified Techniques. So today we're going to provide you guys with the really simple one to check the number of the earthworm. And I have it over here. Let me show you guys. Alright, before we go any place else, I like to introduce some information regarding the earthworm, and we'll check the earthworm together. Earthworms is a good indicator of soil biological quality and condition, as population and species densities are affected by soil properties and management practices. Earthworms have many benefits for soil quality. These benefits include increasing soil fertility, improving soil drainage and soil structure, and of course, improving deep root growth. Did you know that the earthworms are called a farmer's or gardener's best friend? Earthworms also increase the population, activity, and diversity of soil microbes. For example, the actinomyces increase 6 to 7 times during the passage of soil through the digestive tract of the worm, and along with other microbes that play an important role in the decomposition of organic matter to humus. And with that, the soil microorganisms produce plant growth hormones and encourage a reduction in the incidence of pests and disease. The overall benefits of earthworm and microorganisms then significantly increase crop production while reducing the need for fertilizer. Earthworms can be grouped into different types of categories, but in this one, we will base on their morphology, ecology, and vertical location in the soil system. Now we have 3 groups. The first one is anesic earthworms. They actually do stay in the soil, probably the deepest layers. This type of earthworms make a permanent vertical burrows in the soil. They feed on leaves on the soil surface that they drag into burrows. This type of earthworm can often be seen in the grasslands. Next, the second group is the endogic earthworms. They live in and feed on the soil. They build horizontal burrows through the soil to move around and feed. This type of earthworms are often pale gray, pale pink, green, or blue color. Some species can dig very deep into the ground. And the third one is epigeic earthworms. They're really common see on the top of soil surface. These species usually do not burrow. They live and feed on leaf scraps. Epigeic earthworms are usually bright red or reddish brown, but they don't have any pattern. These type of earthworms are commonly found in compost or decaying humus-rich areas. The earthworms prefer warm and humid environments. They can digest waste quickly and reproduce quickly as well. These earthworms are often bright red and striped. Some call them tiger earthworms, and help eliminate waste because they can remove contaminants from the soil. In addition, earthworms help the structure of the soil and make the soil more porous to drain water and increase the air. The things that decompose from earthworms are vermicast and vermicompost. The vermicompost is one of the most efficient organic fertilizers as compared to general organic fertilizers. The vermicompost is produced by earthworms feeding on decaying organic materials and excreting it as excrement. Vermicompost is similar to dark black soil, loose, and resistant to water leaching. Therefore, vermicompost is suitable for cultivation because the amount of organic matter is quite high. Earthworms and microorganisms in their intestines will help change macromolecules of plant nutrients into useful forms of plant nutrients that can be used immediately by plants. And most importantly, there is a lot of organic waste from households and agriculture, such as vegetable and fruit scraps, which often causes problems into the environment when discarded or disposed of improperly. Flies, bad smells, and loss result from the recomposition of organic vegetables that are not properly managed. Bringing these materials comes as food for earthworms in the right environment. It will be another way to reduce the environmental problems. It is also the reuse of organic substances in the production system. Therefore, it will reduce the use of chemical fertilizer quite a lot. To count the earthworm populations, here are some equipments that you totally needed. Field shovel, plastic mat, plastic box, and of course a record sheet. Time can affect the number of the earthworms. However, scheduling the sampling after warm, wet conditions often gives the best opportunity to estimate the earthworm populations. Here are the steps to count the earthworms in soil. Step 1. Dig out a soil pit 20 cm cube of soil and place soil on the mat. Step 2. Hand sort the soil, placing each whole earthworm into the pot. Step 3. Count the number of earthworms we found. Step 4. Return earthworms into the soil pit and backfill with soil. You may repeat step 1 to 4 until you get 3 replications per field. Because the earthworms don't like soil that is too acidic or too alkali, or has some other environment like too dry, wet, too hot, or too cold. Therefore, the presence of earthworms is really good indicator of the soil condition suitable for plant growing. To encourage the earthworm activity, here is the list that you might want to do. Number 1. Add more organic matter. Earthworms feed on soil and dead or decaying plant matter, including straw, leaf litter, and dead roots. Make sure that waste more easily accessible for microbial decomposition in the soil. You may want to do something like persistent grasslands, green manure plants, plant stubble, and crop rotation. Number 2. Trying to reduce the use of certain fertilizers and fungicides. Highly acidic fertilizers such as ammonium sulfate and some fungicides will reduce the number of the earthworms directly. Number 3. Trying to maintain soil moisture. The earthworms can shed 20% of their body weight daily in mucus and sputum. Therefore, they totally need moisture to survive. Ground cover plants reduce moisture evaporation, or rotting organic matter retains moisture in the soil. Number 4. Try to improve the drainage. The earthworms need well-aerated soil, so you may need to drain or pile soil in wet areas to prevent waterlogging. Number 5. Trying to reduce soil compaction, because the earthworms have difficulty moving through the dense soils. And number 6. Trying to protect from extreme weather conditions. The earthworms do not tolerate drought and frost and dislike dry sandy soil. They only become active when the soil is moist. Organic covering reduces the effects of the extreme weather conditions and maintains soil moisture. Now you can see that there are several topics that actually related to adding more organic matter. So that is the key to maintain the earthworm into the soil. After you know the numbers of the earthworm that you found within a volume unit of 20 cm cube of your soil, here is the table showing that you can classify the level of the biological quality. Let's say if you found only 10 earthworms in your soil sample, so that is fall into the visual score equals 0 because you have the number less than 15. Your level of the biological quality is poor. And then you can see that as far as you found the numbers of the earthworm more and more, the level of biological quality will get higher and higher, from poor to good. We just finished counting the number of the earthworm. I think you guys supposed to get yourself ready for the next chapter because we're going to bring out our skill in order to check soil physical, chemical, and biological quality in the field and see if you guys can do it on your own. Otherwise, we see you in the next chapter. Bye bye.